The Pulse Network. It's social TV.
Carmageddon hit LA, and it actually went off much smoother than anticipated. How often can you say that about a news story? Carmageddon was hyped up like crazy, made the front page of the New York Times over the weekend. Everyone was so nervous that the closure of the 405, one of LA's leading highways, was going to cause havoc and wreak destruction all over LA. Citizens were warned to sort of stay in their homes, maybe not go out and travel. Kind of an eerie sight looking at the vacant streets that are LA, but there are some really great footage of these vacancies that sort of plagued LA with the closure of the 405. Yet LA Times reporting that it actually went off smoothly. They finished 17 hours ahead of schedule, which is huge for any construction job, let alone one on the highway. Many citizens just simply stayed indoors, made it sort of a staycation, and embraced the weekend of doing nothing. They called it the Carmageddon Flyover, and for $4 you could, according to JetBlue, rise above the 405 freeway closure and fly JetBlue between Burbank and Long Beach this Saturday. It's the perfect chance to plank. Now, this Flickr photo has been being shared on multiple blogs and websites. Someone decided this was the perfect opportunity to plank in the middle of the 405. Another career tragedy revolving around news of the world. But the one that everyone's really questioning is whose career could be next, and that's that of Rupert Murdoch. Now, the Huffington Post pretty much sums it up as saying the tables are turning on Murdoch and the scandal is rocking his empire. And we've seen it time and time again that, it starts off as just a kernel, a seed, and then it grows into a full-fledged scandal. Wall Street Journal is still denying any types of knowledge about hacking or unethical behavior, yet even the Wall Street Journal is being affected by this growing scandal. Similar to the News of the World scandal, the Casey Anthony trial turned sort of into a saga of its own with repeats and updates every single hour. But this latest one is something to pay attention to because over the weekend she was officially released from jail. Remember last week authorities sentenced her to serving just around 4 years, which was the maximum for lying to the authorities, but she had already served over 3 years, and with good behavior, she only had about 12 days left to serve. So on Sunday, she walked free after she was found acquitted in her daughter's death. The Daily Beast has dubbed it Casey's angry new world, and they say that perhaps she should have stayed in jail. They say that right now the world is so focused on Casey Anthony. It's been such a huge news story. There's so much hatred at her that the world is actually very, very dangerous for Casey Anthony, and that many people have already assigned bodyguards to help protect her as she was released from jail. The Women's World Cup ended this weekend, and many eyes in the U.S. all turned to watch this game. U.S. had that great win against Brazil. They went all the way to the finals, only to lose to Japan in penalty kicks. The U.S. outshot Japan 12-3 in that first half. And you just saw some of those goals, and it seemed like none of them were on net. It was so painful to watch. There was just so many close ones. But it didn't matter. They outshot Japan 12-3 because Japan certainly battled back. Now, the U.S. Was able to finally get a shot that went into the net. Alex Morgan scored the first goal off great service from Rapney, but then the U.S. defense broke down. So the U.S. finally had a goal scored. They were up with just over 5 minutes left in the game, but Japan came back for their first goal to tie that game up 1-1 and force it into overtime. So after Japan came back to tie it up 2-2, we went into penalty kicks. Fortunately, the U.S., they just couldn't pull it off. People are saying, they're using that awful word, the U.S. choked. I can't go there, though. I still have my U.S. team's back, but it was difficult to watch, I do have to say. The penalty kicks came from the U.S. missing the first 3. Now, Hope Solo, the goalie for the U.S., was able to save 1 of the penalty kicks, but it was not enough to make up for it, and Japan won the World Cup.
The Pulse Network. It's social TV.